portion of JavaScript, some introduction. So now we need to know one more point. JavaScript drawbacks and issues. So what are the JavaScript drawbacks and issues? How we can handle them, we will see. Actually, what are the important drawbacks about JavaScript? What are the key problems about JavaScript is? First point, JavaScript is a programming language, but unfortunately, JavaScript, so it is not a strongly typed language. JavaScript is not a strongly typed language. That is one major drawback. Strongly typed language means it is not a strongly typed language means it cannot have restriction for data. Restriction for data. That means data type. For example, suppose I declared here x equal to 10. That means now x is number type. Because in x we are storing 10, then x is a number type. Into the text later, if I send some John, so x is transformed into string, it will change. That is not good, because once we mention that number, then it should not allow anything else. For example, you said age, and in that age you can store anything. That's not good. In that age we can store only number. Other several programming languages are strongly typed. That means they declare integer a. Then a can be only integer. If you try to store any another type of value, it cannot store. But in JavaScript, it is not like that. So JavaScript is not a strongly typed language. That is one big drawback. So then how you manage if anybody enters a string and we want only number, then how we manage? By using extra validation. Validation means we have to write the logic. By using the logic, we have to verify is the value entered is a number or string. If it is number, allow. That's very lengthy process. But there is no other way. In JavaScript, that is how it can manage. So JavaScript is not a strongly typed language. Second important, it is not strictly typed. Strictly typed implicitly. It is not strictly typed implicitly. It is not strictly typed implicitly. It is not strictly typed, but we can make it strictly typed, but manually we have to do. What is difference between strongly typed and strictly typed? That is the question asked actually. What is difference between strongly typed and strictly typed? The difference is strongly typed is about data types. Strictly typed is about language rules. Strictly typed is about language rules. Language rules means, for example, C. Suppose we are writing some here, the language online. Yeah. Suppose we are writing a simple page. Let's add a new folder into our project. I'm showing some JavaScript examples. Yeah. I will show here some demo.html. Later you will learn program and all. Just observe the concept here. Actually, suppose I am writing some JavaScript. Here I am saying x equal to 10. And I am printing some value of x. Don't worry what I am writing, just see the concept. Actually, I have x value and printing that x value. Generally here, x is a variable. But as per programming rules, a variable cannot be assigned with a value directly. First, we should declare it. Generally, as per programming rules, a variable must be declared and used. That means we have to declare one variable and we have to use it. But actually here there is no declaration, but it is working. That means JavaScript allows to write the program with several shortcuts which are not good. Then what is problem? Some developers keep this as a habit. And what will be the problem? Lot of code inconsistency will come. Code inconsistency means what? In one project, 10 people are working on JavaScript. Everybody have his own way of writing. Then it is complete mess up. All should follow same standards. That means one writes in one way, another person writes in another way. Somebody declares a variable, somebody will not declare a variable. That's not good. Then what we do? We ask our developers to turn on the strict mode and write. How to turn on strict mode, I will show you. Actually, currently, by default, JavaScript is not in strict mode. If JavaScript is not in strict mode, it allows to violate the programming standards. Without following the programming standards, you write the logic and it will work, right? So generally, that is what we call as not strictly typed, implicitly. What we have to do is we have to explicitly write. We need to explicitly write the strict. Which class? Which one? Java. UI only. You are regularly coming. This is first day. This is not UI first day batch. Yes. So here you see when we are defining, developers are writing in a shortcut way, it is allowing. Now what we ask developers to turn on strict mode, they have to write like this, use strict. Once they write, then it will not allow. It will not allow to handle. Then it shows some errors. JavaScript errors you will find in console. Go to inspect. In the inspect, there is a console category. Go to console. There you will find the errors in JavaScript. JavaScript related errors you will find in this console category. This is the console. And see, it says that X is not defined. That means there is no X variable, how you are using, it is asking. then it is mandatory that our developers have to declare X and they can use it. Then it will work fine. If they are not declaring, it is not allowing. But if they don't put strict mode, then what will happen? It will allow. So what is strictly typed? Strongly typed. Strongly typed is about data types and strictly typed is about, so it is about the programming rules, standards and rules. That's important. So JavaScript is not strongly typed, JavaScript is not strictly typed. These two are actually very important for a programming language, and JavaScript have problems with that. Another important is it is not an OOP language. It supports only few features of OOP. So JavaScript is not a OOP language. It is not a complete object-oriented programming language. If any programming language is an OOP language, then some advantages are there. Those advantages are not there with JavaScript. That means, what are those advantages? Like extensibility issues, code level security issues, code level security issues. All these will be there. What are those? You are going to learn. Don't worry. What is extensibility? What is code level security? You will understand. Once you start learning programming, you will understand all this. That is another drawback. So it is not strongly typed. So it is not strictly typed. It is not an OOP language. It have extensibility issues, code level security issues. Another important problem here is it is not secured and can be disabled by browser. It is not secured and disabled by browser. Security issues also will be there. It is not secured and can be disabled by browser. That means browser can disable JavaScript. If browser disables JavaScript, then JavaScript will not work. So you see here, I am going to, this is Edge. I am going to Edge:// settings. When I go to Edge settings, in this Edge settings, I will search for JavaScript. You can see JavaScript related some settings will come. Here JavaScript is allowed and I turn off. That means JavaScript is blocked. Now JavaScript is blocked in browser. Remember, disabled is a good word. Okay. Blocked is a very harsh word. Generally, when you block anybody who is calling you, that means you block when you feel that they are not secured and we don't want it at all. That's a very harsh one, right? You cut the call, that is okay. You block them, that means that is very harsh. A browser is not disabling JavaScript, it is blocking it. Blocking is very harsh word. Then why this word is used for JavaScript? Because JavaScript have a lot of threat. Through JavaScript, we have a lot of threat. Computers will have to face a lot of security problems because of JavaScript. That's the reason they disable JavaScript. That means they block JavaScript. They give an option for blocking. Why computers have so much threat with JavaScript? Because JavaScript is actually used by Trojans. JavaScript is used by Trojans. Actually, you might have heard about virus. Computers are infected with virus, worms. We have worms. We have Trojans. So many are there. Everyone have their own behaviors. Do you know what is Trojan? Do you know what it is? What's its purpose is? What is a Trojan? Trojan is nothing but it is used for broadcasting your information to others. Suppose you give your laptop or mobile for 5 minutes to me. I will install one software inside and give it to you. After that, I can watch everything what you are doing. In my mobile or in my PC, I can do that. You even don't know that that software is there in your mobile or PC. These are Trojans. Trojans are very dangerous than virus. Trojans will broadcast your information to others. Actually, Trojans are used in a good way. But so many dangerous activities are done by using Trojans. And who will help the Trojans to control your device? JavaScript. JavaScript is going to help. That's the reason when you disable JavaScript, then they can't work. Trojans are used in a good way. For example, I hope you people know there is an app called Google Family. You know? No? There is a Google Family app. In Google Play Store, you will have a Google Family app. What generally that app is nothing but you install generally parents, they can install that app in the kids' mobiles and tabs everywhere. What is advantage of that is they can control them from their mobiles. They can turn off, they can lock, they can again unlock, they can open, they can find where it is, they can even know what they are doing. They can even restrict installing any game softwares. If you try to install anything, it will first alert them saying that this person is trying to install, will you allow? You allow, then it will be installed there. They are used for a good reason. We can find where they are. We can know what they are doing. We can lock them, unlock them. That is all done by Trojans, but it is used in a harmful way. So one of the major problem with JavaScript is security. That is the reason they give an option for block. Generally, this question is very much asked in interviews is at fresher level. How do we know JavaScript is working in the browser or not? Because if JavaScript is not working, several options they cannot use. Several functionalities will not work. So first we have to alert them that in your browser, JavaScript is not enabled, please enable. How we know whether JavaScript enabled or not? This is one important question asked in interviews. How to check the status of JavaScript in browser? So answer is by using HTML no script element. By using HTML no script element, we can do that. How to check the status of JavaScript in browser? By using HTML no script. When you write this, it will verify is JavaScript working or not. If JavaScript is working, then it will not display anything. If not working, it will show. That means actually Syntactically, we write like this. In the body, we have no script and we write, please enable JavaScript on your browser and close and body. Right. You turn off that, then it will stop. You can close that curtains. Oh, okay. Fine, fine. Yep. So this is no script element. You see now I am going into the page. Here we define no script. And here we write, please enable JavaScript in browser. So I will save this here. We have just heading checking JavaScript. Okay, now see, when we run this, it will show that checking JavaScript, please enable JavaScript in browser. Because currently JavaScript is blocked. And I will go to the settings. I will allow and I will refresh. You cannot see that message anymore. That message will be displayed only when JavaScript is disabled. Many times people have silly doubt like generally they ask in React, Angular and all this. If I disable JavaScript, will React work? Will Angular work? That is common senseless because any JavaScript technology cannot work without JavaScript. And if JavaScript is disabled, then no technology in the world which uses JavaScript can work, right? But just to test whether you properly have some idea on this or not, they just ask this because JavaScript is mandatory for all JavaScript based technologies. If any of the JavaScript features are disabled, then these technologies don't work. So that means Angular, React, and others, they don't work. So how do we verify JavaScript enabled or not? That you can do by using what? No script. So these are all some issues with JavaScript. Major issues of JavaScript: not strongly typed, not strictly typed, doesn't have all OOP features, extensibility issues, code level security issues, and not secure. These are the basic. Later, technically, some more points will come. Now, the question is, what is solution? What is solution? That means, is there any alternative for JavaScript? What is solution? Is there any alternative for JavaScript? Right? So we will see. So 1 second, we will wait. Okay, so what is the solution for these problems? Is there any alternative? Have you heard any alternative? There is a language called TypeScript. There is a language called TypeScript. So many technologies are using TypeScript, but remember, this is not a complete solution. We have TypeScript, but TypeScript is not understandable to browser. TypeScript supports all of them. That means it is secured, it supports hook features, it is strongly typed. But TypeScript is not understandable to browser. Then what we have to do? So we need to, that means TypeScript is there, but what is the problem? But TypeScript have to compile its code into JavaScript only finally. That means developers will write in TypeScript, which is later translated into JavaScript. So for developer, whatever facilities you want, TypeScript will provide. So you don't worry. You just write in your own way using TypeScript. It will take care about translation. It will convert into JavaScript and give to the browser. So finally, browser understands only one language. What is it? JavaScript. So even you have to deal with TypeScript, you have to have good knowledge of JavaScript, right? But these days, in the modern technologies, we are using this TypeScript instead of directly using JavaScript. So this very recently, 3-4 weeks back, Microsoft, because TypeScript belongs to Microsoft, they officially announced that they had a successful trial run of TypeScript in browser. That means browser can directly use TypeScript. But that's just a trial run. That means to become professionally a browser language, it will take a lot of time. It may take some years of time or year of time. Depends. That means, but still in companies, we ask developers with knowledge of TypeScript as well as JavaScript. So JavaScript, if you perfectly know, it is easy to handle TypeScript, but extra some features will be there. Those you will learn. These days, people deal with this TypeScript when they are learning languages like React and Angular. There they will use. So there is a solution, but that is not the primary solution. Means that is not the solution to replace JavaScript. It is not replacing. It is just an alternative. Alternative means what? You can use if you like, if you want it. It is not replacement. Replacement means completely old one is gone and the new one comes. So the solution for that problems, what we discussed is TypeScript, right? These are all the points about JavaScript. So what are the JavaScript drawbacks and what is the solution for that? These are key points you need to know. So we discussed about what is JavaScript and how JavaScript works. So tell me, what is the role of JavaScript in HTML? What is the role of JavaScript as client-side script? What is the role of JavaScript as client-side script? First point, reduce burden on server. And how it will reduce? By managing interactions client-side. And DOM manipulations, adding elements, removing elements, updating data elements, DOM validation, browser interactions, client-side validations, all these are the important responsibilities. So we will see how to use them. So next thing, what you have to learn is how to integrate JavaScript into HTML page. How to integrate JavaScript into HTML page. Integration of JavaScript into HTML page. How do we do that? So nothing much to explain because it is same like CSS. How to integrate styles into HTML? How to integrate styles into HTML? How many ways are there? 3 ways. What are those? Inline, embedded, external file. Same JavaScript also. That means JavaScript also can be used inline. It can be used embedded. It can be used external file. So JavaScript can be integrated into HTML page by using following techniques. Number, inline, embedded, and external file. Inline, embedded, external file. We can use these 3 techniques. Concept you know, but how it works I will show. Inline means directly we write inside the tag. Embedded means we keep in head or body section. External file we write in a separate file, right? And you know all the differences. What is good about inline? It is fast, but you cannot reuse. Embedded, we can reuse, but you can use only in the page, but it is slower when compared to inline. External file, we can use across pages, but using external file will increase number of requests and it will increase the page load time. We discussed that already. So these are the issues with the JavaScript. So here the point is how to manage, how we can handle this. Let's see. First, inline JavaScript. You know that in this method, JavaScript functions are written directly in a HTML element. You cannot reuse the code. However, it is faster. So in this method, JavaScript functions are written directly in HTML element. You cannot reuse, but it is faster. How? I will show one small example. Later we will learn detailedly. See, suppose I am creating page. So here I will write a simple design heading. Heading is click print button to print your ticket, something like this. And we have a button with print. Now what I want is on this button click, I want printer settings to open and it should print this page. I want the printer settings and I want to print this page. So generally on this button click, we want some functionality. Then we will go and write inside the button. So on click, we write on click. On click is an event. What is event? I will tell you. Actually, here, let's take one simple point, because this all you will learn very detailedly in next levels. First, I will just explain a point. Generally, suppose we are having an object. Suppose we have an object. Yeah. So we have an object like this, and in that some color is filled. So we have one object. So this object is something like, this object is a ball. And actually, this ball is having so width some 200 pixel, height as some 100 pixel, border as red, fill as yellow. Like this we have. Now these indicate how an object looks like. Height, width, color and all. Technically, we call them as properties. Properties means they describe how an object looks like. The height, width, color, all these. Generally in HTML we call attributes. And now in JavaScript we call them properties. We control them dynamically. So these are properties. Okay. What a ball can do? A ball can bounce. A ball can roll. A ball can explode like this. These are the activities that a object can do. What activities it can do? These are called methods, or we call them as actions. These are the methods it can perform. What are the activities it can do? Or in JavaScript, you can call them as functions. They are methods or actions or functions. Now the question is, when a ball will bounce? When a ball will bounce? When you throw, it will bounce. When you roll, it will roll. When you pin, it will explode. That means you pin the ball, it will explode. You roll the ball, it will roll. You throw the ball, it will bounce. These are called as events. That means a event defines when these activities need to perform. So that means an object can do these things, but when to do them, that is decided by events. So now if I take technically here, for example, now see, so we have some button. This button is having, so okay, we have some button, and in this button we are having some color and text like this, and we are having like, so this button is close. Now this button is having same width and height and text and border and all these. These are all comes under what? Properties. These are the properties. What a button can do? A button can print, a button can close, a button can open, a button can open, a button can save. Am I right? These are all the actions, methods. But when it can do this, so when you click